I was on the way to the MOT and I smelled something burning, and it has stopped now, but it's something in the rear, so either there's a parking brake on or a rear brake on or something. So this caliper over here is much hotter to the touch than that one over there. That one I can hold my hand on. This one's definitely pretty hot. Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and if you're new to my channel, I hope you stick around and consider subscribing, especially if you're into old cars like this 1991 Jaguar XJS V12. Now in the previous video, I tried to get inspected. However, on the way there, I discovered a bit of smoke out the back. I started smelling, something burning, pulled over, and I caught a little bit of smoke, and I think I've probably found what the issue is. So I'll show you guys around, and let's see if we can hopefully fix this pretty easily. Got the car safely up on jack stands, but when you have something up on jack stands like this, always make sure that you still have a jack underneath somewhere. The jack shouldn't support the vehicle, but should be there just a little bit below, so something happens that will catch it. It's just a safety. And I always like to grab, something and just make sure that it doesn't wobble or anything. It's nice and stable before going underneath. I have the door open just to get some extra light in here, but I want to be really quick. It's also letting a lot of heat in. The first heat wave here that we have is about 30 degrees Celsius in the shade, which is quite warm for Sweden. If you remember how cold we had here in the winter, we're just not really used to it yet. But some summers we do get it really warm like this. So we're going to check the calipers here on the car. When I got back from the drive, it felt like the caliper on this side was warmer than the other side to the touch. I didn't measure anything, just, with the hand. So that is what I'm going to think the issue is. But on the IRS, you have, we'll see in a second, there's a diff in the middle. And you have a disc on each side next to the diff, hydraulic caliper on each side. And then above those, you have two mechanical calipers for the parking brake. So I have already felt that it does spin pretty freely, but it's more free on the other side. So there's some drag on this side. Let's see if I can show it one-handed. You see, it does move, but there is a little bit of drag. There will always be a little bit of drag, of course, with, transmission and everything. But you can see it's easier on that side. So definitely something dragging over on this side. So I thought we'd try the parking brake first. Just apply the parking brake really sort of hard and get it off and see if it gets worse. The XJS has a flyaway parking brake. So it's right at the moment is off because the button is in. You just pull it up, let it down, and you see it's fly away, so you can get in and out with the parking brake on. And now the button is out, and you know that the parking brake should be on. Also, if the car is on, it will light up on the dash. And we'll see, yeah, definitely fully stuck. And definitely fully stuck over there as well. So now I'm gonna release it, and I did pull it quite hard. So push the button in. Seat's all released, and it spins exactly the same as before. So don't think it is the parking brake, really. It's exactly the same as before. So I'm gonna grab a light. Let's go underneath and have a look at the main hydraulic calipers. All right, as you can see, I'm underneath now. Here is the diff. Here are the hydraulic calipers. One on one side, one on the other side. They do share a common hydraulic hose over here. So usually that can be an issue as well if they collapse on the inside. But that would mean that you can get a pressure buildup on both sides, not just one side. But I think I can already see it over there. You see a little white there. That seems to be a brake pad that's gotten pretty hot. And it said these brake pads are pretty much brand new. Probably less than 150 miles on them, or 200 miles or something. So these are the same on both sides. That one has one light side. I'm going to turn off the camera, go up and smell it a little bit, see if I can smell. If that one smells a little more burnt, then we might know that that's the issue. But if you can see above that, you can have the parking brake up here. Here are really long bolts that you loosen up to remove the parking brake calipers. It is quite a pain to deal with the IRS in the car. It's definitely possible, but it's quite a pain. So if you want to do any sort of service on this stuff, it is usually better to drop the IRS, which is not something I feel like doing at the moment. So hopefully it's just, you know, that piston needs to be pushed back in a little bit now a couple times. But I will check if that is what smells burnt. Here are the brake pads and pins from that side. The good news is that I found what the issue was right away. And the annoying thing is that it's just my fault. So I put in these new pads and these new pins maybe 2.5 years ago, something like that. The car has hardly been driven since then. And I don't know what I was thinking, because on the other side, did a good job, you know, putting some anti-seize on here and on here. However, not really anything on this brake pad. Hardly any at all, just a tiny bit. So this is a brake pad that was stuck. And for some reason on this caliper, I didn't put any anti-seize on these pins where the brake pads, you know, slide back and forth on a little bit. I did on the other side, so I don't know what I was thinking at all. So completely my bad. I will clean these areas off here now a bit. Clean the oxidation off here as well. Put some anti-seize on, put it back together. And the pistons did slide really easily. I just used a piece of some pliers on here, and it was really easy to press in, so I don't think that will be an issue. Clean this up, put it back together. I'm going to see how well the wheel turns, then pump the pedal a few times, and we'll go from there. Before I put the pads back in, let's just see how easily this turns now. And yeah, no problem at all. So I definitely don't feel like it was a parking brake issue. It was just that caliper. So I'm going to put the pads back in now, and then we'll see if it's better now. And a couple minutes later, the pads are back in. Got some anti-seize on them, and you see they're moving very nicely. So that's about how far I pushed the pistons back in to get them out. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll go and push the brake pedal just a few times. See that these close up nicely and that they're not dragging too much. I'm going to get into the car and push on the brake pedal. No need to really turn it on or anything. I just want to, you know, press the brake pedal down a couple times. It is really nice and firm. And now basically I just want to see that this wheel still turns nicely. I'm expecting to hear a little bit of the pads against the disc. That is completely normal, as you can hear. But it is spinning nice and freely. Let's check the other side as well. Yeah, that's also spinning nice and freely. So I think that has probably solved the issue. So I think the issue is solved now, and I'm pretty confident that the brakes will be working as they should now. And it turns out it was just my fault. Something I did wrong a couple of years ago that I completely forgot to put lubrication on one of the brake pads on one of the sides. I do not know why. It's very weird, but you know, sometimes things happen and you, I don't know, maybe you're interrupted. I was just thinking of something else, or maybe I was just, like I often do, I listen to some good audiobooks when I'm working on cars, and maybe that book was a little bit too good and I wasn't really paying attention. But I think everything should be fine now, and there was no real damage done. Nothing looked really overheated or warped or anything. I think I caught it in perfect time and no damage was done. So the next time that I can get an MOT time for this car and that I'm available to go with it, I'll take it in and hopefully it will pass and everything go well, but I'll bring you guys along for that. And then if everything goes well, we'll go for a nice little top-down cruise on the way home. But I would like to say one more V12 thing. You know, I said I'm working on some new t-shirt designs. Well, one of them has just arrived today and will be available in the shop. You can see right here, it is the Jaguar V12 firing orders. If you're ever working on your car and you can forget what is that firing order, even if you know you've had these for a while, you probably know it by heart like I do, but still, here is the V12 firing order t-shirts that will be available in the Living with a Classic store. So if you want to get one of those, I'll put a link to the store down below. I do still have all the regular t-shirts and hoodies and everything, and these are available in hoodies as well. Check out the store down in the description if you want to get something cool to wear now for the summer. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Anyways, until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.